So anyway, let's get into some of the stuff they said in the podcast. First, I want to give you how JJ Reddick started it off. He started it off by, because they pre-recorded the podcast. So the beginning of the show was him kind of discussing what they talked about in the podcast. But this was really just another opportunity for JJ Reddick to show you how smart we are as basketball players. Like, me and LeBron are just so smart, right? That's basically what it was. This podcast so far is basically two fish swimming in a pond, and they want us to be impressed by how well they swim, right? For professional basketball players to talk about basketball and be knowledgeable about it doesn't impress me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I did 20 years. I stated earlier, I did 21 years of military, Navy. If I start coming here and doing a podcast with another guy that did 20 years like me, and we're using all Navy terminology and Navy jargon, and I'm talking about a bulkhead, and I'm talking about a head or a deck or a swab, and I'm talking like this, and I'm blowing your mind. Oh my God, this guy's so smart, man. I never knew that it was a bulkhead, right? I wouldn't do that, because only thing it is, we're talking about the same things. A bulkhead is a wall, but on the ship, it's called a bulkhead, right? Why would I talk to someone that's going to be listening that wasn't Navy if I'm doing a podcast about Navy and you never was in the Navy? Why would I even reference a bulkhead when I know you see it as a wall? You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna call it what I know is going to relate to you. Why would I call it what we only understand, right? Because I want the same exclusive or smart. So it's two fish swimming in a pond, and fish supposed to swim. So what can you do when you're swimming that's going to impress me that you're swimming? What can you do as a professional basketball player that's going to impress me about your profession? You can't impress me. And that's what it comes off as. JJ Reddick and LeBron James are just taking turns throwing lobs to each other, and they're just dunking it down, just trying to sound smart and trying to sound like they're the smartest basketball players that ever lived. And LeBron throwing himself lobs off the glass, and he's catching it, and JJ Reddick's giving him all types of reach arounds, and he's smiling in his face. Like, you got to see how, like, when LeBron's talking and sounding smart, how JJ Reddick was just smiling in his face, just looking at him like, oh man, you're so stinking cute. That's how he was looking at him, man. It was crazy to watch. But this is how JJ Reddick started it out, trying to explain to us what a floppy was and what Horn's action is and what a high screen and roll is. They don't even call it high screen and roll. They call it thumb down and all this stuff. You're trying to impress us with that. I don't know how people are going to be impressed, but here's JJ.
The exact basketball concepts that we are talking about. Episode 1 actually has a few different basketball concepts that we talk about. Episode 2 is a little more granular, a little more X and O. But episode 1, we do talk about thumb down. What is thumb down? Thumb down is simply a high screen and roll, a high pick and roll. Thumb down angle, which LeBron references, is just when that pick and roll is angled to a side of the floor. So it's not in the center of the floor. It's either in that left high quadrant or that right high quadrant, closer to the sideline. So thumb down angle would simply be a ball handler with the ball, a player in either corner, another player in the high quadrant opposite the ball, and then the screener. And again, these two guys can play pick and roll, and you play out of that. By the way, a lot of teams call high pick and roll something different. Not every team calls it thumb down. I know when I played for Stan Van Gundy and the Orlando Magic, we had thumb down, which was a high screen and roll with the 5-man, the center. We also had a screen and roll called thumb up, which was with the 4-man. LeBron, by the way, will reference X4 and X5. Some teams call the 4-man X4. Some teams just call him 4. Some teams call the 5-man X5. Some teams call the 5-man just 5. Horn's chest is another play that we talk about. Horn's chest is when two offensive players are in both corners, and then two offensive players are directly above the elbow or free throw line area at the three-point line, creating almost like a horns. And then the point guard plays off of that. So the point guard can dribble off either side. The point guard can also throw the ball to one of the players at the horns, and they can get into screening action. This is horns, very simple. Ball handler, player in either corner, and then 2 players up here. A lot of times, this guy will be the 5-man, this guy will be the ball handler, and this guy will be the scorer or the shooter. Boston Celtics, by the way, when they run their horns action, a lot of times the 5-man is spaced to one of these corners, and they involve Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and either Drew Holiday or Derek White.
So that's him explaining it. I cut it off, man, because he got into floppy after that as well. And floppy is a play that they run for people like J.J. Reddick or a player like Ray Allen. I think Ben Gordon used to do it when he was with Chicago, and for your shooters, Reggie Miller did a lot of it. Rip Hamilton, they would run that, but people don't do that no more. It's really 5-man out, high screen and roll for the most part. But for you to start talking about thumb down, and LeBron mentioned it during the show, he mentioned the thumb down, but this is J.J. Reddick trying to, hey, look, everything that LeBron said, I want to explain to y'all what it is, which I guess is cool. Me personally, I don't think it didn't enhance my listening pleasure at all, to be honest with you, because I know the source of it is them trying to big up themselves. Like I said, they're fish swimming in the pond and asking you to be impressed by how well they swim. Listen to LeBron call out his teammates for not being able to recognize something that he recognized when he was 8 years old.
There's guys in the NBA that if you call a play or a coach draw a play to one side of the floor, they can't switch it in their head and do it and say, let's run it to the other side without the coach drawing on the clipboard.
Yeah.
I've never understood that. And I don't know. I never understood that. So if I say we're running thumb down angle, we're running on the right side. So because I have a left-hand point guard, he wants to come middle to a strong hand. He has the ability to hit the pocket pass with the left hand, has the ability to throw ahead, he's lefty, and also has the ability to throw back on the shake. But if I say, hey, we run a thumb down angle on the left side because now the right-hand guard coming right, I've had teammates that's like, oh, what do you mean? Coaches always, in practice, we only ran it from this side.
Yeah.
I could flip a play when I was 8 years old. No matter if it was just pass and cut, no matter if it was, let's run flex, but let's start on the left side. No matter if it was just, let's DHO, driving kick. The last one, all right, now let's just drive the baseline drive drift. If the forward on the left side is looking at the ball, you can slot cut. I could do that. I was doing that stuff when I was like 8, 9 years old, and my coaches would just be blown away. And
why throw your teammates? Why throw your teammates under the bus like that, man? I've had several teammates in the NBA who hasn't been able to flip a play if we run it on the right side, and if we flip it and say let's do it on the left side. He said he has teammates that can't do it. And he's been able to do it since he was 8. I thought they advertised this podcast as something like, hey, look, this is going to help the fans understand basketball. But all they really doing is trying to disguise what their real agenda is. And it's really to tell everybody how smart they are and how much of a savant they are. It's not for the listener. Like you're not going to get smart by, we already understand what a high screen roll is. You telling us that y'all call it thumbs down or thumb up does what for us? Just say high screen and roll. Just talk like that. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not enhancing anyone's basketball IQ to help them enjoy the game a little bit more when they're watching it. No one's going to listen to episode 1 and then go watch the game and be like, oh, now I can really enjoy the game because I know when he did this, it's a high screen and roll. I just don't get it, man. I just don't. I mean, just listen to it.
There's guys in the NBA that if you call a play or a coach draw a play to one side of the floor, they can't switch it.
They can't switch it, but I've been able to do it since I was 8 years old. Man, that's unreal, man. One more.
Let's just drive the baseline drive drift. If the forward on the left side is looking at the ball, you can slot cut. I could do that. I was doing that stuff when I was like 8, 9 years old, and my coaches would just be blown away, and I wouldn't know where it came from. I have no idea. So to get back to your question, I think I was born with a sports IQ, and it could have been any sport, but I just think basketball was the one that I chose, and maybe I was chosen to do that as well. Yeah. And I just took it to a whole, as I got older and your mind you start to live it. You start to want to be a part of it. You start watching. I started watching the games, when I was like 19 years old. When I first started, I was watching just a fan. I was just a fan of Michael Jordan and Anthony Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill and, those guys. I was just a fan. But then when I started playing the game, I actually started like studying what those guys were doing out on the floor and what teams were doing, how teams were guarding, how coaches were coaching, subbing patterns, time of possession. One thing that kills me, JJ, in our league, I'm going to tell you what kills me.
Tell me what kills you.
The 2-for-1 shot at the end of quarters.
Are you going on an anti-crusade against the 2-for-1?
I understand.
So when I listen to first of all, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, I've never heard them throw their teammates under the bus and say, my teammates can't do this. I've heard Kobe Bryant say, somebody didn't work hard. If you don't work hard, I don't want you on my team. If you don't work hard, it's going to be hard to be my teammate. I get that part, right? But to say, someone's IQ level is low. I've played with people who can't do something I've been doing since I was 8 years old. Like, I just don't get that, man. I really don't be getting it. I don't understand what the purpose is of doing that. And somebody said I was reaching. I mean, maybe I am reaching. I don't know. And hopefully they say episode 2 is going to be more of X's and O's and whatnot. I like the way Kobe Bryant did his detail show. What I liked about that is he would take a team or a player and say, this is like when he did Jason Tatum in the playoffs. And he was like, this is what Jason is doing. This is how he could get better. And he made it about analyzing something and finding areas where he could be better at. And Jason Tatum said when he watched Kobe Bryant break down his game on detail, it helped him so much. And he said, man, it was just so great to have him critique my game and see where I could improve it. And I think he worked out with him the next summer after that. He went and worked out with Kobe, right? So that's real genuine to me. Open up the Mamba. So detail is one thing. Open up the Mamba Academy where he was really training people. Like Kawhi really showed up. Kyrie was there. Tatum was there. Who else was there? Paul George was there. There were so many different players. Candace Parker, a lot of WNBA females showed up. He was training so many people. That was real passing the torch and passing skill on to the next generation. That's real. Not going on a podcast to tell everybody how smart you are and how smart your teammates aren't. That's not the same thing. That's not teaching your fans anything. It's really not teaching your fans anything, right? Kobe Bryant did it where he was really asked questions and he answered them, and it was enlightening to a lot of people. He didn't go out there for the purpose to show you how smart he was. It just came off, and you knew he was that smart. He wasn't overdoing it and trying to do it and setting up whole podcasts just so I can big up myself and disguise it as I want to teach the fans what floppy is and what horns is and what thumb down and high screen and roll is, and flipping a play from left to right, from one end of the court to the other end of the court. That's not what it's all about. But that's all I wanted to get on and say about it, man. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. Let me hear your thoughts. And let me get to some of these comments too. Because I seen some of I seen one of my Marine brothers in here. Y'all, hey, we retired, man. So I don't want to say this and cause a fuss, but you know the Navy owned the Marine, right? I'm just saying. Greg Anderson, what's up, big dog?
Man, what's going on, man? I got so much to say about that narcissistic podcast. Oh my God, that was the worst. All right, look. First of all, that is a podcast that you do after you retire. Okay, the biggest criticism about Shannon Sharp's interview with Cat Williams, they said there was nobody that offered any pushback.
Right.
You want to impress me, J.J. Reddick and LeBron James talking about how smart y'all are? Have Jeff Van Gundy on there as well. While y'all going over all of these floppies and thumbs down. Because Jeff Van Gundy is the type of coach that'll tell you, like, yeah, you can do this, or you can shoot the pull-up jump shot.
Is that Jeff Anstan?
Jeff Anstan. Okay, another thing is, like with him coming out talking about how smart he is, all he doing is throwing Darvin Ham under the bus. That's what I ain't like about it. It's like, I'm so smart, you should listen to me. Darvin Ham might as well just resign tomorrow. He ain't got no chance of coming back tomorrow. No, but this is the biggest nasty work in the whole thing. He was in there telling people like his strategy, how he thinks. Now Draymond talk about the game, the overall game. They give like kind of like vanilla, like we did this. It's like vanilla game plan. LeBron in there telling you how he thinks. I hope the guy that the Denver Nuggets in the first round use everything that he said on that on that podcast to shut his ass down. Coming in there talking like he's so damn smart. You so smart. Why don't you be the coach of the Lakers? And when y'all lose, you fire yourself.
Well, I mean, what did you think? What did you think about JJ Reddick at the beginning when he was telling us about the floppy and the thumb down?
You know what? JJ Reddick reminded me of like the third ranked student in the high school or whatever, right? You only get a valedictorian, a salutatorian, but he just want to tell everybody he's smarter than the two people getting an award. JJ, you wasn't like that. Now JJ was a solid NBA player, but come on, bruh.
Yeah. Like
we don't need filling out no clipboard. Like, what does that do?
I mean, so you don't think it's useful in? I mean, like would you subscribe? Do you want to hear stuff like this from them?
I don't want to hear it no more. Now I'm gonna play that like when I can't sleep at night and I need something like that's only useful for like high school basketball coaches and people that have that personality. But as you stated before, they don't even play that style of play no more. So everything he said was irrelevant. When the last time you seen somebody running a pin down screen?
Some teams would do it. I know Golden State still do it. But it's not a lot. It's not a lot.
They got the person. When is that last time you seen the LeBron team run that set?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It's all thumbs down, angle, 45-degree angle, straight up, straight down. I swear to God, I hope the guy that whoever play him in the playoffs, they use that same game plan against them. Shut him down. And if he's so smart, how come he ain't figure out? He was so smart since 8 years old. How come he ain't figure out the San Antonio Spurs when he was 20, 22, 23, 24?
Because he had bums on his team, remember?
Oh man, come on, man. Look. Man, this guy, man, bro, today when I saw that, like I was watching and I was like, all right, let me fast forward a little bit. Maybe it'll get better. And then he even got to the point where he was answering questions that wasn't even asked of him. You know what really gets me mad? I'll tell you what makes me mad. Ain't nobody asked you that shit. All right, but I'm about to get off the phone, but I know the one person that should be upset. The one person that should be upset at that podcast is Shay Sharp. Because out of all of that meat glazing he's been doing for the last couple of years, he ain't never sat down on his show.
You know, that's funny. Because that's exactly what Draymond Green said this morning on his podcast. He said that. Yeah, he said, I got a bone to pick with LeBron because he go on a podcast and this is the first one he ain't did mine yet.
Oh, he said he ain't did. Forget Draymond. forget Draymond. He should have been on Club Shay Shay. And imagine what the number. The reason why he ain't go on Club Shay Shay is because he invited Dwayne Wade over there, and Dwayne Wade spilled too much tea.
Yeah, he did. Dwayne Wade went over there, and Dwayne Wade went over there and said a couple of things. Number one, MJ's the GOAT. Number two, LeBron didn't tell me he was leaving Miami. I was pissed that he left. And number three, I don't know if on Club Shay Shay, I don't think he said this, but on another podcast he mentioned the reason why they joined up right after the Lakers and Kobe had won their finals against Orlando. That was the reason why that was when they made the decision. So
and it dispels the myth that when he was talking like, I didn't know what I was going to do. Yeah, right. Y'all so Kobe popping champagne like he won an in-season tournament, and then that's when y'all decided to rig the NBA.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm saying, man. That was disgusting, man. That was nasty.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was cringy. I thought it was cringy. But yeah. Thanks for the call.
All right, good show, man. I'm back in the comment section.
All right, bet. What is my man Straight Duval saying? Black man putting other black men against each other. Shaking my head. No, I ain't never against LeBron. I think people get mixed up with I think when you think we just supposed to agree with every single thing, right? I cannot agree with it, but I'm not ever against nobody. Right. I'm not ever against nobody. Like, you know, his show is gonna do numbers. Right. We know it's gonna do numbers. So I'm definitely not against him. What's up, man? Caller from Texas.
Hey man, it's Justin Funky Town. What's going on?
What's up, big dog? What's your thoughts, man?
Hey brother, look, I've called in before and I know I told you this. Brother is an only child and he's a narcissist.
Yeah. And
this is all about him, me. And when it's something bad, it's they. We, you know what I'm saying? It ain't ever that, you know, look at how Mike talked. Mike, when they won, we did this.
Yeah.
And if you look at when it was something going on, I got to do better. I got to do this. I got to do that. But the whole point is, you know, I'm sick of it. Like it's you sit up here talking about J.J. Reddick. You know, J.J. Reddick, to me, he's a glazer. Like he's not a, you know, independent thought. You know, I mean, you're sitting up there playing, you know, what he did when he was 8 years old. Okay. If you were that brilliant at 8 years old, I guess that's why you didn't need any more to learn anything else, because you knew everything when you're 8 years old, but you still only got 4 championships. If you were so good at what you did, why you only got 4 championships?
Yeah. But I will say this. I will say this because I watched the whole podcast. I will say this. When J.J. Reddick asked him about how a player gets basketball IQ, he did say it comes from coaching, and he gave props and credit to his high school coach, his AAU coach, both his AAU coaches, right? So you know he said that they were great coaches and they really instilled some good stuff in him. So I will say that he did that. That was dope what he did.
Okay. If he did that, that's great. But here's my whole point. How about giving credit to Kobe, who at the Olympics, and he's the one who, not just with LeBron, all them dudes, he's the one who was the backbone who showed them what it takes to be a winner.
He did.
On that stage. It wasn't. They didn't have that. He didn't have that.
No, they wasn't even working out like Kobe was. He showed them what commitment looked like for real.
AAU. My son played AAU at we went to a tournament up there at Newport News, where Iverson's from, and right there by Norfolk.
Y'all played at the Boo Williams Center.
Yep, exactly. And so the whole time I'm trying to tell my son, I'm like, dude, you know, boys gonna be boys. They're gonna play. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember they're kids. They're gonna still act like kids. They think it's fun. When you get around your boys, you still think it's fun. Kobe was there. Not what Chris Bosh said. I'm gonna beat him to breakfast. Kobe not only beat him to breakfast, he had already worked out with ice bags on his knees.
Yeah. Facts.
And he was getting ready to go back out and work again. There's levels to this stuff. But see, Kobe, again, where'd he get that from? Work ethic from his parents. He saw it. He had some good vets that taught him. One of the biggest things I got with LeBron is he didn't listen to anybody in the league. That, you know what I'm saying, to let him know, like, man, this is how you do this.
That's interesting you said that. That's interesting you said that, because now that I think of it, when like I just told you, he shouted out his high school coach and his AAU coaches, and credit them to what his IQ level is. But guess what? He never said anything about any NBA coaches.
Thank you.
Like he didn't say he learned anything from Ty Lue, David Black, Mike Brown. He didn't say anything about none of those guys.
Pat Riley, that's just
Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, yeah, exactly.
All these people he's been around, all this stuff that's been pumped into him. Nope, all this stuff has been done for him. You know, but like I said, the whole point is it's always been him as the offense. You know, going back to what you were saying in the beginning, he bounces the air out of the ball. He controls the tempo because he's too old, he's too slow, he won't play defense. So what does he do? He controls the tempo on the offensive side. Like the other caller said, the other players, your other players aren't in the game because they don't know when they're getting the ball from him. They know that if he gets caught up, he's gonna get rid of the ball. But you don't know which one y'all getting it. You don't know you know what I'm saying? Have you got a shot? Like Paul Pierce said, they just doing cardio.
Yeah, facts.
You know, you got to get. If you look at, and again, going back to Kobe and Mike, the game plan. Let the team. Phil Jackson told them, let the team get into a rhythm. Let them get their lather up, and then second half, take over.
Right.
Do what you need to do. But see, he doesn't do that because he's not going to give effort on defense. And when it comes to the offense, it's him. It's really whatever he decides he wants to do. He's gonna move pieces around, but he's gonna be the one piece that's not moving until he wants to move.
Yeah, very true. But it's not as bad as Luka though. I give LeBron. I'll give LeBron credit for moving off the ball. LeBron will cut.
And Marshmallow is Luka.
Yeah, and LeBron will cut to the basket. I give him that. He does something off the ball.
Yes, but he's expecting what? Is he doing it as a backdoor cut for somebody else to release somebody to the corner? Nope. He's going through there either expecting the ball and to make another pass or take a shot. That's it. He ain't trying to, like I said, he's not working. He's not working for an offense that involves a team. He's working for his offense. Because again, him getting his numbers, all that is about him since 2011 when he got clown for Jason Terry busting his behind in that finals.
Yeah.
And his averages, what they were. Ever since then, he's been conscious to make sure he at least gets his numbers.
Yeah.
And it ain't, like I think somebody else said, it ain't about the winning part. It's about he can come back and say, well, it ain't my fault.
Yeah.
Look what I got. I got this much. Well, dude, you had the ball in your hand the whole game.
Yeah.
You should at least have that much.
Yeah.
But again, hey, bro, outstanding show, outstanding podcast as always, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for taking my call, and I'll let you get on with it.
All right, Funky Town. Appreciate it, bro.
You got it, man.
All right, let's get some more phone calls in, man. I would like to hear from some of the people that's in the comment section that disagree with me. So definitely call in. Let me know. Rod, what's up?
Hey, what's happening?
What's good, man? What's your thoughts?
Hey, is LeBron the only child?
I think he is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought I had heard that, and you could tell. No disrespect to nobody, but he got that only child syndrome. You only child?
No. I'm the last of four.
Not everybody that's the only child act that way, but there's a such thing called the only child syndrome.
Yeah.
And
explain
he
it.
He has that bad. He will do anything for attention. He thinks all the attention belongs on him. He's used to that. He's not used to sharing nothing.
Right.
He's supposed to control the narrative all the time.
Okay.
And in today's world, as we know, attention is currency. People like J.J. Reddick know that. I don't believe J.J. Reddick believe half the stuff he be saying.
I don't know, man. The way he was looking in LeBron's eyes, man, he believed that junk, man. I ain't never seen nobody look in nobody eye, but you gotta watch that podcast, man.
Hey, no, I can't do that. I meant to tell you though, bro. I'm proud of you, man. You're a strong dude. You actually sat there and watched that whole stuff.
I got to, man. I got to. I don't think I will. Look. Listen. Like,
this is a dude that would do anything. A compulsive liar. A compulsive liar. No, I ain't say he lied. There's a difference between somebody told a lie and a liar.
Right.
He lied. Want to be filmed reading Malcolm X's book. Can't tell you nothing about the book. Ask the question about, did you see this film? Can't tell you nothing about the movie. But yeah, I seen it. Yeah, loved it. Great. But can't tell you nothing about it. Oh, I had the N-word spray painted on front of my house. No footage, no picture. Not even police video cam.
That's true.
It was sprayed over by the time they got there.
That's true.
Compulsive liar. Will do anything. And remember what was happening around that time that he supposed to have went through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The uprising and everything. So, yeah, he would do all attention on me. Oh, I don't want to share nothing.
That's interesting.
He's just that dude. And that transfer over to his game.
So what you think about this podcast though? Let's get to the podcast. You think it's gonna be good for fans or not?
Nah.
Why not?
I think it's gonna be boring.
But what about LeBron fans? I mean,
just from what I heard on your show, that little clip, I think it's gonna be very boring. LeBron fans gonna make it hot for a minute, but it's gonna fall off.
That's interesting. Oh, well, I mean, hopefully it turns into something. I mean, it at least got some potential. I mean, because the concept is good. They want to get to X's and O's, and they don't want everything to be about, storylines. Like you turn on First Take. That's one of the things we hate the most about Stephen A. Smith and First Take and Skip Bayless and all that stuff. Only thing they do is just talk about storylines and stuff like that. They're not talking about X's and O's. And I think more people, probably would appreciate that. But you got to understand the fan base that's around the NBA. They've attracted more people that are not into real basketball. They're into the other stuff. You get what I'm saying? They're into the entertainment. That's why they need to see dunks and threes, because they don't really like basketball enough to appreciate a defensive battle, appreciate a really good box out, appreciate a low scoring game, appreciate watching a stretch where nobody scored in 5 minutes or a 15-point quarter. Like, you get what I'm saying? They can't watch that and be like, oh man, I'm enjoying this. Right? They can't do that. So we don't have enough people that really care about the X's and O's around the sport that much. So who are they talking to?
The minority of us, not the majority.
Well, I mean,
the majority want to hear gossip.
Yeah. And
like you say, who hit the most threes? And that's it. Really, real basketball. Like you said, they don't want to see two great defensive teams go up against each other.
Not good for entertainment. But let me open the phone lines up, Rod, man. Let me get some more calls in here. I want to fly through these so I can get to this last topic and get y'all out of here before.
All right, bro.
All right, thanks.
Peace.
Yep. All right, we have some more calls, and let's get some more calls in. Like I said, let's hear some of the guys that was in the comment section that disagree with me. DC Slam, what's up?
What up, homie? What it do?
I'm good, man. What's good?
Hey, check it out, man. Hey, I wasn't gonna call, but it's like this, man. I'm looking at the comments and I'm seeing like people talking about LeBron. Look, I'm with you, dog. Slim got a high IQ. You might not like him as a person, but to say old boy can't ball is nuts.
Right.
All right. And that also go with like what the last caller said, right? I mean, we kind of bombarded with like just bad information. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. Smith is a person who kind of ruined sports and created the average chat person with the high IQ. You know what I'm saying? We got people, sports fans, actually saying people that's in the NBA ain't got a high IQ, and they never played. Mm-hmm. This is where we at in today's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like really don't nobody even talk basketball no more. It's just more about MJ the GOAT, Kobe this, when Kobe played, when Mike played. Man, if anybody saw some of them games last night, dog, you missing out. Ant-Man with the dunk, you know what I'm saying? Shorty in LA with, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm all I'm asking people do it. If you don't really like the sport, man, you don't need to tune in. You shouldn't be on social media looking for Bron drama. None of that. I mean, I feel like you're being fake. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? If you could just hang around in chats all day and complain about the sport and don't watch it at all, then you're a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? That's what's making the sport worse, and that's really why it can't be promoted, man.
So hold on, hold on, DC Slim. I don't know if so I think you might be looking at the symptoms rather than the sickness, right? So when you look at the fans and the fans are rotten, though that rotten fruit came from a rotten tree. And the tree is the NBA itself. The NBA created an environment to produce these type of fans.
That environment, I get exactly what you're saying, but you know when that started? Bro, that started around Jordan time.
Explain.
Right? So look, man, we can't see. That's why I say when I listen, I am an older dude. I'm 48, so I've been around.
Right. I
cannot sit here and just keep acting like it's gonna be the 90s again. It ain't happening. You look, man, I'm trying to have a decent basketball conversation with a person, and all they bring up is these guys this, these guys that. Man, you must not be watching. Oscar Robertson, he said the greatest quote I ever heard about basketball and people that complain. He said, basketball ain't changed. They still dribble. They still dunk. They shoot threes. Now, the entertainment factor, the Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN, the LeBron Post part, separate the two and look at the game, and you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just too much drama, and it's too easy for people to complain, man. Look at our chat. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got nothing good to say about no basketball now. It's just LeBron. Look, LeBron is a cornball, dog, okay? But I can't say he can't ball. I ask everybody on this planet in today's era, you got him in your top 5 in today's era. I ain't comparing him to no 90s player. But I'm saying if he ain't in your top 5 today, you don't know. You should never watch basketball again. You should never make a comment about basketball. You need to just turn your TV off. And that means you're not paying attention to basketball. At the end of the day, my mama hang up out of this. I just want to know, do people like basketball or just people?
Well, you saying from the poll I posted last week that people like players more than basketball. But before you go, explain how the decline in the NBA started with MJ and why.
All right, look, I don't want nobody to get mad when I say this. This is just me being a basketball fan because I think basketball was great before MJ. Look, Nike and the NBA saw a money grab. They saw the most exciting player in the league, and they promoted him. Now, I'm not saying Jordan not great, you know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, Jordan was selected, not elected, okay? When they gave him favoritism, this is what a lot of people forget about him. So he was getting the same kind of LeBron love, but now what kills me is people act like that never happened. So he was getting all the calls. Dog, did you know Jordan used to do black beauty care commercials? He's the media darling. He was attached to every media thing, so you couldn't touch him. So once that was created, it carried over year to year. I'm saying Jordan was the best at it. Jordan and LeBron, look, LeBron is running neck and neck with Jordan on power.
Who got that treatment before Michael Jordan?
I don't think nobody really had it before Jordan because media was just coming into play.
So
you know what I'm saying? Like
so
it was
you
more
don't
TV
you don't think it was odd that Larry Bird ended up in Boston and Magic ended up in LA?
No, because like
Not
me and
at
my
all.
boy was in the barbershop saying this because back in the day, and see, let's like just go back to the super team.
No. Hold on. I don't want you to go off on a tangent. So that wasn't odd behavior by the NBA setting that up after they seen the rival of Magic and Bird in college. You don't think him going to Showtime Lakers? First of all, they already had Kareem and a good team. Them being able to somehow get Magic was already bogus. Same with Bird going to Boston. So you don't think the NBA kind of set that up? You don't think they wanted to put the league on them and market them that way? So you don't think Bird and Magic was being marketed?
I think they was.
Okay, all right. So
like
okay,
MJ.
all right. Of course, not like MJ. And the reason why is because we both agree MJ was a better player, correct?
Yeah, he was a better player.
Okay, he was a better player
to promote.
Right. And Magic and Bird tried to sell them Converses but couldn't, correct?
Yeah, I would say Nike.
Hold on. So Nike was a new company that tried to do what Converse did with Magic and Bird, but they couldn't do it. And Nike was able to do it with Jordan because Jordan actually could play and could fly. So when the favoritism started for Jordan, we know it didn't start when he got swept by the Boston Celtics.
No.
So those
1990.
points he scored wasn't because the NBA was giving him calls, and we know the NBA wasn't favoring him when Detroit was beating the hell out of him, right?
No, that's my point.
So the only thing that actually the NBA did for Jordan is enforce their rules. A foul is a foul. We wasn't calling it before, but now let's go ahead and enforce our rules. So they stop the Pistons from playing football on the basketball court, enforce the rules so Michael Jordan can be what they wanted Michael Jordan to be. That's great. I admit that they enforced the rules to help market Michael Jordan. But the rules was already being enforced. What they done with this game now is they've taken defense away all the way. So
I disagree.
Detroit, hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this. Detroit was on this end of the spectrum with defense. The rule book was here in the middle.
Why is Detroit standard?
Let me finish. It's an easy reference point. So the defense was here. Well, this is real defense right here in the middle. Right here in the middle. Detroit was on this end of that spectrum. What they've done is go right past that, and they went on the other end of the spectrum and made offense just the end all be all, and defense isn't existing at all.
Hey, you want to know the answer to what you just said?
Yeah, what?
Nobody is going to accept this. Man, nobody wants to sit down and watch defense. Basketball.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Hold on. Watch
that's
this.
A lie. People that like basketball want to see defense.
Let me show you. The ratings was going down early because it was too much defense. People started tuning out because there wasn't no points. Now, remember when we got here, we looking at this as fans.
That's not true, DC. That's not true.
Hold up.
No, DC. I can't let you. I can't let you start a false premise and then build on it.
Wait a minute, hold on. I'm not building on it.
Yeah, but you building on a false premise. Defense was not.
Why do you think they did it?
Ratings was not going down because of defense. Still the most watched finals, NBA finals is the Jordan versus the Utah Jazz.
No, that's the finals.
Okay, so ratings wasn't going down.
You said Jordan again. No, I ain't saying
ratings
the ratings
wasn't going down
when Jordan was playing. Hold
on. When ratings started going down?
Not when Jordan was playing. When Jordan left the league and Chicago had like a good 2-year run after he left, I would say right after that, that's when all of the players kind of left. It wasn't a lot of popular players. Wasn't nobody watching. People was getting bored. Now, as a business, now that's why I say, man, fans, man, we got to also understand, man, it's a business. Your fandom cannot be blocked by that. You got to understand, people are different, bro. Okay? See, when I hear everybody, like, what kind of defense you looking for? I watched the New York Knicks last night, right? them Bama's was balling. So when people say defense, right, it's such a broad statement. And the first word I hear all the time is Detroit. Back in the day when Detroit was balling like that, man, NBA was still a finesse game. Detroit and New York was the only two roughhouse teams in the league at that time. Okay,
I disagree.
So when people try to make it, I mean, you can disagree, but you can go look that up and see. Cleveland Cavaliers didn't play like that. Remember, they used to play Mike in the playoffs.
Milwaukee did Milwaukee did as well. Milwaukee played tough.
Yeah, they wasn't Detroit and New York.
Boston played tough. You had to play tough, or you weren't going nowhere. Even Houston played tough.
Boston, though, Boston actually can ball though. So it was a mixture. So that's why I say, look, don't just think the NBA just ain't got defense at all no more. It's a high-scoring game. These youngins move a little bit more faster than 90s dudes. We can truly say, I ain't going to say they're better shooters and all that, but I can't say that we're looking at better athletes.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think what's going on is the athletes that was great in the 90s that wasn't that good at basketball was on the bench. Like I seen a great athlete on the Bulls bench in Randy Brown, but he wasn't good enough.
That's just one
he wasn't good enough at basketball to get on. I seen a great athlete in Robert Pack that didn't get a lot of play. Hold on. I seen a great athlete in Larry Nance. I seen a great athlete in what was the dude that played for Seattle that did the Statue of Liberty 360 dunk?
Sean Kemp.
No. It was like a Bradbury guy. Stanberry or Stanfield.
Okay.
Great athlete. But this is the fact that we don't know them is because they wasn't that good at basketball.
No, that's not true.
So hold on. Slim, you gotta let it ain't that they wasn't promoted. They wasn't that good. They didn't get they were on people's bench. Gerald Wilkins was on the bench. Great athlete. Right. So you didn't just get on the floor because you could dunk and run and be a great athlete. In this era, you can be one of the best point guards in the top 75 player in Westbrook with just running and jumping skills. You can get MVPs with track attributes in this league.
Wow.
Because the league.
So you saying none of these youngsters can actually play ball?
Slim, you have to let me finish this. That way you won't have to ask that question. Listen, the league is more wide open with a lot of space and pace. So a guy that runs fast and jump high can excel in this league. But if that's all you could do in the 90s and before the 90s is run fast and jump high, you got to deal with 2 7-footers in the paint. You can't run fast and jump and get that point. You have to have some other skills to your game. So running fast and jumping high, have you been a backup like Robert Pack or Terrell Brandon until Terrell Brandon got his jump shot, or freaking Randy Brown or Larry Nance or any of those guys? You just couldn't run fast and jump high as a wing player. You had to have some jump shot to your game. You had to have some shake. You had to have some other stuff. Westbrook can excel just running fast and jumping high.
Well, let me ask you this question. So, I think you're putting too much emphasis on one thing. You keep comparing this to the 90s, and I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's fair. I think that's what's another argument that kills sports talk. Because it's easy to just go reach to the 90s and grab some great players and bring them over here. I mean, that's easy. That's not what we're saying. The game is different.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to speak on that part. It is not the same. Now, if you love basketball, you'll understand the differences and the little small nuances. It's really not that much different from when Mike played. Look, Detroit get too much credit for elbows and punches. Okay, they call that tough defense. That ain't tough defense. Who wants to play ball and keep getting elbowed in the shin? All right, that's what I'm saying. That's what people calling tough. That's what people keep trying to attach to the 90s. Bro, that's not the 90s. I hate when people try to act like the 90s was just these rough and rugged, tough guys, man, plumbers and construction workers, man. No, it wasn't like that. Them dudes could ball. See, that's why every era is different to me. I hate crossing them over. The rules was different. Everything played a role in it. Promotion of players, media was different, all of that. LeBron James is the new Michael Jordan. Kobe was, look, I found out the other day, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James are the most promoted athletes in NBA history. Shouldn't you wonder why we only compare them three as the best? Sound like somebody trying to convince me that somebody is the best by you just bombard me with information. That's why people like LeBron, because he was forced on you.
Yeah, but we can pinpoint that he was forced on you. And I'm gonna go ahead and open the phone lines back up, DC. But
it's all good, man. We can show on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. I think for the call in. But look, DC, we can pinpoint that LeBron was forced on us, and Luka's being forced on us right now. We can pinpoint that, but
and Jordan was forced on you too.
I don't think so.
You ain't want to hear that part.
I actually no. I'm not saying he wasn't being marketed. Hold on. Hey, cut YouTube off in the hold on. Yeah, cut YouTube off, big dog. But yeah, DC Slim. Yeah, I agree with you that MJ was marketed very heavily, but MJ was showing the NBA and showing shoe companies and showing, other sponsors what it looks like for one player to carry the league. They was building the airplane as they was flying it. So it ain't like they had a blueprint and they was using the blueprint on MJ. They was building the blueprint with MJ. They was like, shoot, this is what we can get from a player that's this good. They was building the plane as they flew. Wow. And then when MJ retired, they was like, we're going to use this blueprint perpetually. We just got to find the new Michael Jordan every 10 years. So it's totally different. But I go ahead and let you out. I got another call on here, man.
Be easy, dog.
All right, big dog. Yep.
Peace.
Yep. All right, caller. Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. This is Susie from Pittsburgh again, man. Just calling in. I wanted to respond to some of the things that DC Slim had said, as far as and one of the more salient points that you made, as far as wasn't it a little suspicious that the Lakers got the number 1 overall pick to get Magic, and the Celtics had Larry Bird on hold. He went back to school, but they still held his draft rights after they drafted him. So it was already set in stone that these two guys were going to be on these two rival teams,
right,
and go through the next decade carrying the league. So the NBA was trying to resurrect their image because everybody in the 70s was on drugs.
Right.
So that game between Magic and Bird was the most watched and probably still the most watched college basketball game of all time.
Yep.
And college basketball was more popular in the NBA at that time. So they wanted to parlay that into the next era. And that was almost the skeleton of the blueprint they used on Michael Jordan. When it comes to the shoes, if you remember that Converse weapon commercial from back in the day, all of these dudes had the same shoes with different colors based on what team they played for.
Correct.
So there was no real style to it. Michael Jordan brought the signature style to basketball sneakers and actually had the signature sneakers that was unique, as opposed to everybody just being under one brand and making these commercials together and wearing the same shoes.
Correct.
So ultimately, the league has made moves to put players in certain spots over the years. They did it with the folded envelope with Patrick Ewing in New York with that draft.
I remember that too. And more recently, I believe they did it with Anthony Davis in New Orleans because remember they blocked that Chris Paul trade to the Lakers, and the reason why they blocked it, they said it was for some other reason. Yeah, they said it was for some other reason, but what I really believe it was
that basketball reason was what dude said.
Correct, but remember they was about to sell it to the guy who owned the New Orleans Saints. And if you're a potential team owner for the league, and I'm trying to sell you a team with no superstar, would you buy the team? Or at least ask for a cheaper price? Like if CP3 is on my roster, and then I'm selling you a team, and it's say, hey, I just approved this trade for CP3 to be gone, you wouldn't buy the team, right? So I think that's why
I don't think I would pay the same price at least.
Right, you wouldn't pay the same price.
One of the more notable players of that time, and he carried that franchise to the playoffs multiple times. and performed very well.
Correct. So they blocked the trade, and then a little time after that, they accepted the trade to the Clippers because by that time I think they had a new plan, and that was because AD had announced that he was entering the draft, and I guess they was like, we can just give you AD. We'll give you the number 1 pick. Will you buy it if you get the number 1 pick? He probably agreed to it. And when they did the draft lottery, and when New Orleans got the number 1 pick on national TV, that's when he signed to take ownership. Like he was actually at the lottery and had planned. I guess he wanted to make sure. I want to make. I know you said you was gonna get me the number 1 pick in the lottery, but I got to make sure before I sign this paperwork. And as soon as they got the number 1 pick on national TV, this man signed the paper, and I seen it live. And I've been looking for that footage on YouTube everywhere, nowhere to be found.
So long story short, like let's stop putting the collusion and the conspiracy that the league enacts on to the player, because ultimately they could put anybody anywhere they want to. The people chose Jordan. Jordan proved to us that he was the best.
Yeah, I agree.
He did.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to do the same thing with LeBron, and it's like, you know, he's a polarizing figure to say the least. Yeah. Me personally, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. He is a great player, but he ain't all that to me. Like
this is a shocker. This is a shocker, and let me know if you agree with this. I don't think the NBA's front office and the commissioner and the owners, I don't think they really want LeBron to even be considered on Jordan's level. They would do it for the time being because it's good conversation and it serves their purpose while he's playing. But I don't think they really want him to be that for real.
I also, and I'll add a point to that. I think that they know that it's hard to kill the Jordan ways. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what they do, it was chosen by the people. We still buy his shoes. We still remember him playing. Like you're not just gonna kill the memory. Like now, there's a lot of people who've seen Wilt play that aren't alive anymore, and there wasn't no TV, it wasn't 24-hour news cycles and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So whoever seen him, they just had to see him. Whoever seen Bill Russell just had to see him. They didn't start really doing national NBA like that until the 70s, until Bird and Magic. So kind of the fuzzy memories kind of start there, because you can still look back and see those great games between those players and say, oh, even though I didn't watch that live, I can tell Larry Bird was a bad dude.
Yeah.
You don't have that luxury with people like Oscar Robertson or Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell in as high of a volume.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with you on that.
And I don't think that it's fair that LeBron just gets to jump over all of these people when he didn't necessarily face the adversity that a lot of these people have faced when it comes to their basketball careers. Like he was kind of the chosen one, you know, for lack of a better term. Yeah. Like he kind of had everything laid out for him. He had $90 million before he even was out of high school. So it's like, you know, did he have to prove himself in the same way that Jordan did? Because when I see old articles, it's like, yeah, he's a great player, but he has to prove himself. It was always about the young players proving themselves. They would give them accolades on their talent and everything, but as far as like saying that you're up there with Magic and Bird, you have to prove that.
Yeah.
And LeBron never really had to prove it as much, I don't think.
Nah, he took a back route to it, man. But I appreciate the call, bro. I'm gonna open the phone lines back up.
I really, really like your show, man. Keep up the good work.
Man, I appreciate you calling, man. I'm glad you like it.
Peace.
All right. Pepper Spray, you said you interested in knowing why I say that about LeBron. I think what you're talking about is when I said that I don't think the NBA wants LeBron to be the guy to overtake Jordan. Number one, the reason why I don't think they want it to happen is because they don't believe that he's a better player than Michael Jordan. And I think the league knows, you know, they know where all the dead bodies at. You know, they know where, They got the right broom that knows where all the dust is at. That means they know what they're doing. They know what they had to do for MJ, and they know what they had to do for LeBron to market him. So they really know who's better. They know who they had to do more for. You know what I mean? So I think they know that. And I think it's odd that when The Last Dance came out, immediately after The Last Dance, ESPN and a couple of other big websites did a poll, who's the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? It was almost like the media was working against LeBron and working with Jordan. And I was like, why would they do that? And I thought it was funny because you get to laugh at LeBron fans, right? And I don't like LeBron fans, Kobe fans, or Jordan fans. I like people who like basketball. So whenever I get a chance to poke fun at any of them, I do it. So when they did The Last Dance, and then all of a sudden, as soon as The Last Dance ended, the last episode aired, ESPN had a poll, who's the GOAT? And everybody was voting. It was like 70-30. Or 70-20, and I think even Kobe got some votes, right? So I was like, man, why would they do LeBron like that, man? Who's in charge of this? Like, this is the guy that's the face of the league right now. Why would you do that? They would have never done that to Jordan. They would have never threw a poll up for Kareem, and after they aired some documentary about Kareem, they want to know who the GOAT. They've never fought against MJ being the GOAT. The league has never done that. ESPN has never done that. They've never fought against it. It's so much pushback about LeBron being the GOAT. It lets you know that nobody really believes that. Nobody really believes he's the best player that we've ever seen. Nobody has watched everyone play that they've seen and was like, the best person I've ever seen is LeBron. Nobody's saying that. What you hear people saying is, man, he's got the most points. He's got the record. He went to 10 finals. None of that means that you're the best. What makes you the best is me watching you play, critiquing your game to see what you can do, what your strengths are, and critiquing your game to see what you can't do, what your weaknesses are, and seeing how you use that to win or seeing how your opponents used it to beat you. And a lot of what LeBron's strengths are has been great. But what he's good at needs too much for it to work. He's good at driving to the rim, and he's good at passing. He's good at seeing the floor. So when you say I want to build around it, you need a center that doesn't need to be in the paint. You need shooters around the three-point line. You need a high screening role to give you a running start, right? And you need at least one superstar. Most of the time, you need two superstars to make it work. You just need too much. And when you need that much, that shows that you have more flaws in your game than what someone like Kobe or Mike has. The more you need around you, the more specifics you need, lets everyone know the flaws that you do have. So for every flaw he has, shooting, free throw shooting, mid-range, post, for every flaw that he has to have a specific type of player around him to make it happen. You just need too much. And that's why he's always trading and firing coaches and give me that player. Or you got to play for 2 years and he's gone and he's ready to go. So much changing. And you had MJ, look, give me one co-star. I want to stick with him my whole career. There's no point to make no more changes. They tried to trade Pippen for Kemp. Jordan blocked it. They tried to trade Pippen for T-Mac. Jordan blocked it. Right? So, this is who I'm riding with. I don't need to keep changing. I don't need to do all that stuff. You don't have to. I don't need a 7-footer that go stand at the 3-point line because I need to paint wide open. He needs so much, and everyone knows it. And everyone knows he's very flawed as a basketball player. Right? The only thing that's fooling people about it is that he's maneuvered other parts about the NBA. Oh, I can get this trade. I can swap this team. He's maneuvered the other stuff to make him get to the 3 rings that he got. Because I don't count that tournament. The tournament is that's not a ring, right? He played in a tournament. That's an NIT, right? So he got 3 rings, but he had to maneuver. He had to do so much, cutting red tape and doing all this stuff. And I mean, it was just so much movement for him to get 3 rings. And if he wouldn't have done all that movement, if he would have played the game the way that people before him played it, and stayed with his squad, I don't even blame him for leaving Cleveland. He left Cleveland cool, right? I ain't even gonna knock him for that. But he went to Miami, and everything that his supporters say he didn't have in Cleveland, he had in Miami. He had 2 superstar co-stars. He had a great president in Pat Riley. He had a great coach in Eric Spoelstra, who was named one of the top 15 coaches of all time. He had everything he needed in Miami. He had the fan base, everything. They won there and all that. He had all of that in Miami. Everything that we claim, Michael Jordan had Phil and Mike had Scotty and all this stuff. Well, he had all that in Miami, but he left. Why did he leave Miami? So he had everything that we claim he didn't have. He had it in Miami, and he still had to switch up. Why did he have to switch up? Because D-Wade knees was getting bad, and he couldn't get it done without his superstars being super elite. But when Pippen's back was hurting and his foot was all jacked up and he was declining, Michael Jordan stuck with him because I can make up the rest of that with what I do. Pippen just show up, play defense. We got this. We go ride or die. Nah. LeBron was like, I'm gonna keep jumping teams because I need everything to be perfect around me because my game itself is so flawed and I need perfection around me. That's the difference. And that's what everyone knows in the league. And they know LeBron doesn't, he don't belong in the conversation. I got 2 callers on the line. One from I don't know where y'all from. 954 number. You can go first.
Yo.
Yeah, go ahead. You live.
Yeah. I was just going to keep it on to the first thing you had. But I think LeBron can have a pretty cool podcast. Because at the end of the day, this man really did study the game because he was born in the 80s?
Yeah.
This man is actually pretty knowledgeable about basketball, even if it is on the X and O level, because he really did have to study that because he was not making it up in his game. He refused.
I mean, I think like I said, man, I think it can be all right, but he gotta lose the idea, because we can see it coming from a mile away. Like people are not fooled by this. We know this is about him and J.J. Reddick showing us how smart they are. We know that's what this podcast is about. We know that.
I can't even disagree with that. LeBron does like to toot his horn.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's the only reason why you would come up here and use jargon or use terminology that is specific to your team. Like what good is it? Why do I need to know what you called it in Orlando, JJ Reddick? We see it. We know it is a high screen role. Why would you want to call it anything else to your audience? We don't need to know that you call it that. There's nobody else that talk like that. It's coaches that is naming these plays, like Van Gundy. And I seen Van Gundy on the Knuckleheads podcast. He didn't try to show us how smart he was by throwing all this terminology at us that we not privy to because we're not on their team. Call a high screening roll a high screening roll. For you to come up here and be like, oh man, we called it thumbs up and thumbs down, and then we called it. Why do we need to know that? You know what I mean? So if they can get past that part and be real with themselves and have a real podcast, then it might be dope, man. But if it's gonna turn a lot of people off if he's gonna have that type of attitude, we know JJ Reddick is a condescending prick, and we've heard LeBron James when he feels like he's been attacked, he might show up to the post game podium and say, even after I lose this finals, I get to go home to my great life, and y'all get to go home to y'all horrible's life. I mean, he literally said that.
He said that before?
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, go look it up. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, he is an interesting guy. I've never understood the things he says in media.
It is what it is.
I do think you know what he's talking about in basketball.
Yeah, but guess what though?
At the end of the day, he changed the whole league.
He did.
Worked with the CBA.
He did though.
And
He did though. But guess what?
Good talker.
But guess what? We got a podcast with several other former players. They're not on their podcast trying to show us how smart they are, and there's some smart ones out there.
That's true.
It is, man. But let me get to the next caller, man. I appreciate the call.
All right, man.
All right.
I love the podcast.
No doubt. Appreciate it. All right, caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right, what's up? What's your thoughts?
I'm just chilling, man. I haven't got around to the podcast. I saw it earlier, and I said when I get like an hour, I'm gonna just sit back and just ride through it. I'm gonna get through it, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be interesting. LeBron he does have a genius level when it comes to the game. I wish LeBron was a little bit shorter, maybe like 6'4", maybe 6'3", maybe playing point guard. I think he would have an even more legendary career because he could have been really like the point guard, but that's a whole other story. But I think it's going to be a good insight of him seeing the game and stuff and critiquing certain things. I know it's going to be biased because LeBron definitely does want to be the center of attention and carry his legacy over and over and throw it down everyone's mind over and over. So I'm pretty sure it will be very interesting, very humorous, and very, like you said, a little bit narcissistic. But I was watching YouTube earlier this morning, and sometimes, it gives me videos to watch, and I kind of glanced at the 99 playoff game with the Rockets and the Lakers with the old Kobe and Glenn Rice. I was like, man, like, them boys was like it was real back in the 90s. And I'm not trying to go back all to the 90s and the 80s, but, sometimes you just see how the game was and how they was holding Shaq, and Shaq was just really just acting a damn fool out there, on Hakeem and other guys. And I know the game has changed a little bit, but I feel like when it comes to LeBron and how the game has changed, I think LeBron wants you to, how some girls want you to call them pretty, and then the pretty ones, they just know they're pretty. Yeah. I think LeBron wants the world to see him as the GOAT, see him as the king, whereas other players who feel how they feel, they know who they are, and you know who they are, and you're going to say it for them. And I don't want to say who I'm talking about in general, because it could be more than one person. I just feel like LeBron really wants people to know that he's the king, know that he's the GOAT, and he's going to do other things circling him that reinforces and reaffirms that he's the GOAT. He's a great player. I just feel like, yeah.
But is that the reason why so many people give him pushback though? Like if LeBron never did that, he don't get as much pushback. The only pushback LeBron got early in his career was the fact that, okay, we anointed him. We went along with the king stuff. We went along with the next Mike stuff. But then you start getting put out by Dwight Howard. You start getting put out by Boston, and you wasn't getting it done. And that's when people start pushing back, like, oh man, all right, the Jordan stuff is over. Like that conversation is over.
Yeah.
Right. And he got anxious and was like, oh man, I got to do something real fast. I need to win. And that's when he went to Miami. I got to make it a little bit easier to win. I just got to get that monkey off my back. So he got the two rings with Miami, but then he realized these 2 rings is a little different. It was super teams. Let me go try to do it. Let me go back to Cleveland and do it. That'd be a great story. And once he got that one, that's when everybody was like, oh, let's get him back in this GOAT conversation. And when everyone didn't hop back on that bandwagon and put him back in the GOAT conversation, he started overcompensating and trying to do things to make sure he was in there. And then he started manipulating the media, and, he started doing all these other things, and then asking for his respect, and then saying that one right there made me the GOAT, and, doing all these crazy things, man. So that's when everybody started pushing back, like, dude, nah, you ain't it. But if he would have just chilled, he would have settled down in his rightful position as a top 5 player of all time, and he wouldn't be getting no pushback from nobody. He's only getting pushback because he's asking to be in a ranking where he don't belong, and everybody's like, nah, you don't belong here. You don't belong at this table. Can't sit here. That's what it is. You don't belong here.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. LeBron is a genius, and he will try to find out ways to put himself in position to win. Whether he got, mentors giving him game, whether he got like certain marketing and NBA people giving him game and how to move and be strategic. But like you said, you leaving Cleveland to do it that route. I understand it. It might have been harder, and you feel like, man, time is of the essence. I need to make these moves. I get it, but it's kind of like LeBron. It really put an asterisk by your name. It really put an asterisk by your name, brother.
And he tried to take the asterisk away by going back to Cleveland and winning. He knew it was an asterisk because Kobe knew, because everybody was telling Kobe, man, you played with Shaq. You don't get you're not getting Michael Jordan level respect by winning with Shaq. So he wanted to get away from Shaq, and that's basically what LeBron did. He went to Miami, and everybody was saying, you won, but you won with a super team, and you underachieved because with a super team in 4 years, you should have had 4 rings. You got 2, right? So he wanted to remove the asterisk by saying, well, if I go somewhere else and do it, then that means that it was me, not the super team, right? But he formed another almost super team to get that ring. and it took the NBA to give him help against the Warriors to get it. Right. So he was trying to remove the asterisk, but he was mad when everyone didn't see it that way. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much his career. That's pretty much.
Have you ever seen an interview where LeBron explained why he did the big 3? Have he ever talked about why he did it, what he thought about when he made a decision? Has anyone ever asked him that question? So not yet. Okay. Matter of fact, they probably never asked him that question.
No, I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't think they'll ask that question. But LeBron is great. People always saying people are bashing him and talking down on him. I see a lot of people that say a lot of great things, a lot of bad things. He's a great player. He can hoop. If I went to the gym to go do my recreational weekly ball at LA Fitness for 24 hours and I saw him in the gym, I'd be like, man, that guy can pass. He can dribble a little bit. He's tall, he's muscular, he do his thing, but I wouldn't really fear him because I see when he turns down and I see when he has his strength. So I can't really say that I would be quote unquote afraid. I'm never afraid of playing people that are really good, but when you dogging my ass out, I gotta say, man, this is just dogging my ass out, guys. I'm not afraid to say that. And I feel like with LeBron, I can't hold him, but I'm pretty sure there are areas where I can say, let me just not play him so much, or let me just lollygag. I could joke with LeBron if I was hooping with him. I probably wouldn't want to joke with Jordan. I probably wouldn't want to joke with Kobe. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
But great show, and keep doing your thing, man.
All right, man. Appreciate the call.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna move to the next topic, man. Last topic of the night, man. And I appreciate all the call-ins. Everybody, right now, hit that like button, man. It's a good opportunity for everybody to hit that like button real quick. I'll give y'all about 10, 15 seconds to hit that like button. Let me check to see where we at with the likes, because y'all be cheating me on the likes, man. I thought y'all liked the podcast, man, but y'all don't. Let me check. Let me see. 255 people in. Let me see how many likes I got. 187 likes. Oh no, that's not good. Let's get up to come on, at least get me 215 right now. At least get me 215 likes. Caller from Kentucky, what's up?
Yeah, you talk about this fraud. I want to talk about this fraud LeBron James. He did more bad than he did good for the NBA.
Okay, explain.
Because the dunk contest, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get in the dunk contest. Then after that, none of the other superstars got in it.
Okay.
He makes the super team. Then everybody else starts making these super teams. All right, because LeBron does it. Then people say LeBron's unselfish. LeBron's not unselfish. Take the ball out of LeBron's hands and see how unselfish he'll be then.
Mm.
You take the ball out of his hand, he's going to demand a trade. He's one of the most selfish dudes in the league. And then they talk about, like when he went to Miami, right? He goes to Miami, I'm going to win 8, 9, and all that. Burley wins 2, and he lost the first one to Dallas because of him, because of himself. This dude lost 1 championship
could have hit more because of himself. Then he goes to the Lakers, and every offseason the dude's crying around the free agency. He's crying for some more. Go get me some more players. Go get me some more superstars. He's the biggest fraud in NBA history, and he tries to trick and trick everybody into believing he's something that he's not. But anybody who's smart knows what the dude's doing.
I can see that. I mean, so I wouldn't use words like fraud and all that stuff, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, man, he's still a brother, and we gotta love him, man. That's one of our brothers, man. I think what happens is we kind of project on LeBron because his fans are so obnoxious. You know, it's kind of what people do with the Dallas Cowboys, man. His fans are unreal fans, man. His fans are like Cowboys fans, Duke fans, you know, Taylor Swift fans. They're very obnoxious, right? So I don't want to project on LeBron based on how unreal his fans are.
No, but see, I ain't talking about LeBron off the court. I'm talking about on the court. He is a fraud on the court. He's a fraud, and he's afraid of failure. I done seen him quit in finals in different games where he done quit.
Okay.
Blames everybody else because of what he can't do. Scared to shoot the ball. Scared to shoot a jump in the finals.
Okay.
Because you can't shoot and you're embarrassed to miss. He's a fraud.
Well, I mean, if that's what you think, I just would use some different terminology, man. I think fraud is very strong. That's a very strong word. You know, I just say there are players that are so this is my opinion about LeBron. I think there are multiple players that are more complete players than him that are in that top 10 range. I think Mike and Kobe are head and shoulders above LeBron as a basketball player.
Well, look, you know what? People talk about LeBron being in the top 5 and top this and that. I'm going to tell you something. The name of the game of sports is winning, right?
That's true.
If I had to pick between players I don't watch play, I'm taking Jordan first, and then after Jordan, I'm taking Shaq. I'm talking about just winning. I ain't talking about skill or longevity or none of that. I'm talking about you trying to win a championship.
Yeah, I'm taking Hakeem over Shaq, though. I'm taking MJ, but I'm taking Hakeem over Shaq. Easy.
You would take LeBron over Shaq?
I said Hakeem.
No, I'm taking Shaq. You talking about the Hakeem that beat Shaq when he was young in Orlando. I'm talking about the Lakers Shaq, the 3 finals MVPs.
Yeah, I'm good on that one. I'm good on that guy. Give me Hakeem. Give me. Give me the defensive player of the year. They couldn't be guarded. Huh?
Why couldn't Hakeem win 3 in a row then?
What you mean? Why he couldn't win 3 in a row? He didn't have.
Why couldn't he win?
He didn't have Kobe.
3 championships, 3 and win 3 finals MVPs.
He didn't have Kobe. Why couldn't Shaq? Why couldn't Shaq get past Stockton and Malone 3 years in a row?
Why can't he what?
Why couldn't he get past Stockton and Malone 2 years in a row?
Probably because he had no help. You go look at his numbers.
He had Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones. Both of them were all stars. Well, let me ask you. So let's say this. Let's say this. Shaq, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, 3 all stars. They had Eldon Campbell as well. Couldn't get past Utah. But as soon as Kobe arrived and was a starter with Phil Jackson, he had Derek Fisher and Kobe. You telling me Derek Fisher and Kobe was more ready than Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel?
Shaq is the most knowledgeable player outside of Jordan. But look, you said Nick
wait. Shaq is more physically dominant, right? More physically dominant. Just like LeBron is more physically dominant. But Hakeem was more dominant as a basketball player. He was dominant, but he was dominant because he was good at what he did. Shaq was dominant because there was no one to match his physicality. Shaq had a drop step dunk and a drop step jump hook. That's just a horrible hook. One of the worst hooks I ever seen. That's all he had. Couldn't shoot free throws. Couldn't guard a high screen and roll if you put him in there. Detroit showed us that, right? Wasn't that good of a defender. He was just big. So no, physically dominant don't mean what Dream was. Dream was the best center I ever seen play. Hands down better than Shaquille O'Neal. There's no way. Shaq is great, but I got Hakeem, Kareem. Well, I got Kareem, Hakeem, and probably Wilt over Shaq. Shaq's a top 5 center, but he's not top 3.
Shaq, the Lakers, Shaq, there was 3-peat. Shaq. They could neither one of them stop.
Listen, Shaq 3-peated with Kobe, brother. Kobe is on a level of Kobe's the best shooting guard besides Michael Jordan, and he was very close to Michael Jordan as a player. So yeah, if you listen, that's just like saying Pippen 3-peated and he had Jordan. You had Kobe, but what did Shaq do when Kobe wasn't there? When Shaq was going, why Shaq couldn't? If he was so dominant, how come he couldn't beat Karl Malone? Stockton and Malone was embarrassing the Lakers. Come on, man, we got to stop, man. Like Kobe Bryant is that good where he really made a difference and helped Shaq out. Shaq couldn't do it with Penny. Shaq couldn't do it with Eddie Jones. He needed a top 5 player of all time to help him 3-peat.
His career, his shooting percentage is low, about 41% from the field.
Who?
He's good, but he's overrated for what people say.
Who? Because of a shooting percentage?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Hold on. So you mean to tell me if we were scouting, let's say we scouting for Kentucky for Calipari, and he said, "Go for I need a shooting guard. I got a senior that's going into the draft. Find me a shooting guard." You mean to tell me we go and look at all the shooting guards in the country, and we look and find out that somebody like Kobe is the best one, but then we look and see that his shooting percentage is lower than 2 other guys? You mean to tell me you gonna say, nah. We can't take the best guy because his shooting percentage. What sense does that make? Why do y'all listen to ESPN with this shooting percentage stuff? That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Yeah, he's great, but his shooting percentage is low. What? And he didn't shoot 41%. He shot 44%, and that's not low. That's not low for a guy who takes mainly jump shots. Kobe Bryant wasn't I need to be in the paint type player. He was a player that was like, if I can't get to the paint, I'm pulling this mid range up. So for a jump shooter, I want you. Wait, slow down, son. You can't. Hold on, slow down. You can't overtalk me. Come on, hold on. I need you to go and look at every jump shooter that shoots mainly jump shots. Go look at Klay Thompson. Go look at Ray Allen, Rhett Hamilton. Go look at people who shoot mainly jump shots and tell me what their field goal percentage is. A jump shot is a more challenging shot than a layup or a dunk. So for guys who shoot mainly layups and dunks like Shaq and LeBron James, they're going to have a higher field goal percentage. 44% is not bad for Kobe. So we're not doing that. We're not saying somebody's overrated because his shooting percentage is 44%. That don't make sense.
I know exactly what you're saying. Hold on though. Let me say something. I know LeBron's has had in Kobe's and Jordan's probably too, because all he does is dunk and layups like a center. I know that. But what I'm saying is, one time you said Kobe is just as good as Jordan. Try to slide it in. You a big Kobe fan. He ain't just as good as no Jordan. He ain't even just as good. He ain't right behind him or none of that.
No, he right behind him. If
no, he ain't.
Who's the second best shooting guard of all time?
To me, I got Tracy McGrady over Kobe.
You got Tracy McGrady over Kobe. Lord have mercy. Yep. All right, thanks for the call. Yep. Thanks for the call, brother. You get. Hey, let me ask you this: Who Tracy McGrady got as the second best shooting guard of all time?
Behind Jordan, yeah, I do.
No. Who? If I asked Tracy McGrady who the second best shooting guard of all time, who would he say? No. Answer the question. Who would he say?
You know how these dudes be doing.
No. Who would Tracy McGrady say is the best?
I heard what he said, but I don't care what he said.
No, I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say it, because if you can't say it, that means you're delusional. No. Who would Tracy McGrady say is the best shooting guard of all time?
Who say that?
If I ask Tracy McGrady who the second best shooting guard of all time,
he's gonna say Jordan.
No, that's the first. Who would he say the second is?
I don't know.
Well, let me take the suspense out of it, because he's already said it. He said it was Kobe.
Who would he say?
He said it was Kobe.
Well, let me ask you a question. In the finals, right, when Shaq wasn't with the Lakers, Did Kobe look great against Boston to you?
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, he did. I watched him.
You thought he looked great against Boston when Paul Pierce outplayed him?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I know what type of fan you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan. I like. Listen. You you saying a player don't look great because of what? Because he had a poor shooting night. Listen, brother. Listen. You got to let people talk, bro. Or we go end this real quick. We go end it real quick. A poor shooting night, and he had 18 rebounds and played great defense, and you gonna say he didn't look great? Come on,
Who had
man.
18 rebounds?
Kobe, the night that Kobe had a bad shooting night, he had about probably maybe 15. Maybe it was 15. 16 rebounds.
Yeah, come on, man. You won him. I'm telling you, won him, bro.
All right. Well, let's use your logic. Let's use your logic then, right? Since you're gonna tax Kobe Bryant for what you call not looking good against Boston in the finals. The guy that you said is the second best shooting guard of all time. How did he look in the finals?
The best shooting guard, who? The second? You talking about?
T-Mac. How did T-Mac look in the finals?
Grady didn't play in no finals.
Dang, why not, bro?
Well, why? Because he didn't have Shaq.
Well, Kobe got there 3 times without Shaq.
Nobody his whole career. He's supposed to have Grant Hill, but Grant Hill got hurt.
Kobe got there 3 times without Shaq, bro.
You know, McGrady didn't have no good players.
Kobe got there 3 times without Shaq, bro.
Man, lost.
How did T-Mac look in the first round? How did he look in the first round? How did he look with a 3-1 lead? Come on, bro. You can't seriously be. You can't be serious, bro. You can't be serious.
Should have won one, and Pau Gasol played better than him in another finals that they won, and he lost the other one to Boston. That's a fact. Now that first 3-peat. Did you watch the first 3-peat? You watch how Jordan looked in that first 3-peat.
Yeah.
And you saying Kobe ever looked like that?
Yeah, he did. He looked really good. Listen, you can't have a criteria to grade one player and don't use it for everybody. So let's take your criteria. So your grade for Kobe. So the two things you said the reason why Kobe is overrated is because of 44% field goal percentage, and because he didn't look good in the finals one time, right?
2 times.
2 times. So both times he played Boston. And Boston was and Boston was a super team, correct?
But they
no. Yes or no? Yes or no? We got to make this real quick. Boston was a super. There was a super team. Did Kobe have a super team?
Well, yeah, he had a.
No, he didn't. No, that's not a super team.
Yeah, Pau Gasol.
No, but that's not a super. That's not a super team.
Okay, I got a question.
No. You're not running the show, bro. I'm running it. Listen, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah,
so Kobe played against a super team, but he didn't have a super team, correct?
Yeah, he had Pau.
No, listen. Did Kobe have a super team or not? Yes or no?
Did he have a?
Yes or no? Did he have a super team when he had Pau Gasol?
No, and he lost too.
No, did he have? Listen, bro, it's yes or no. I'm gonna end this phone call. I'm gonna end the phone call. Did Kobe? I want to hear yes or no. Did Kobe have a super team? Yes or no?
I just told you no. Kobe
okay, stop. I want a 1-word answer. So the answer is no. He didn't have a super team, but he was facing a super team. Okay. Have we ever seen a guy that in the finals against a super team when he didn't have one? Other than Kobe?
No, he didn't have a super team when he lost.
Okay. And he also beat the Boston Celtics the next year, right? So he beat a super team. Have we ever seen? Have we seen Iverson face? Well, I ain't gonna say Iverson. We'll say LeBron. He faced a super team with the Warriors. He got swept 2 times, or a gentleman sweep and a sweep. So we seen what it looks like when a great player without a super team faces a team with a super team. It don't look good. It look like a pit bull fighting a chihuahua. That is the reason why he probably didn't look his best against a super team, but he beat that super team. Man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Thanks for the call, bro. Thanks for the call.
Why was Kobe not the best player with Shaq on the team?
Thanks for the call.
Why was Shaq the best player with Kobe on there?
I don't think he was.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he was. I'm about to put something on the screen for you. I'm about to put something on the screen for you. I'm about to put something on the screen for you. Hold on. This is what the numbers look like for Shaq and Kobe from 99 to 2004 when they went on their finals runs. 26 points average for Kobe, 27 for Shaq. 5 rebounds for Kobe, 14 for Shaq. 5 assists for Kobe, 3 for Shaq. 2 steals for Kobe, 1 for Shaq. 1 block for Kobe, 3 for Shaq. This don't look like Kobe was look 2001 playoffs. Kobe, 29 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. That's the year where Shaq fouling out, doing all this crazy stuff, and Kobe handled the Indiana Pacers by himself. Man, I got this right. This is easy to go find, man. I don't understand where y'all are crazy. 4 finals playoff runs. Here's what the numbers stack out to be. Kobe was 34%. When you add the assists and the points, Kobe was 34% of the total offense. Shaq was only 32%. Y'all got to stop, bro. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop, man. Shaq didn't have any competition when he got to the East. All the competition was in the West as far as big men. He had to face Sacramento when they had 3 big men waiting for him: Scott Pollard, Vlade Divac, and sometimes Webber tried to guard him, right? He had Tim Duncan in the West. He had Rasheed Wallace and Sabonis in the West. So when they faced teams in the West, they had guys that can stick with Shaq. But when he got to the Eastern Conference, he was facing stick figure players like Mutombo, who cannot stop him from anything down low, or Todd McCullough, or Rich Smits, or who else they faced? Who was it? Who else they? They had. Or the New Jersey Nets, they had I can't remember who it was, but all stick figures that couldn't guard Shaq, and that's when he went off and was averaging 30, 35 points in the finals. But in the Western Conference, when Kobe had to face Kobe stoppers like Ruben Patterson, Bruce Bowen, Shane Battier, and all these dudes, Kobe was the one cooking in the Western Conference during the playoffs. He took a back seat for Shaq in the finals against the Eastern Conference teams. That's something that y'all can't comprehend, man. This like I usually don't even bring this side of me out on this show, but you were so ridiculous. I had to nuke you. You were ridiculous, man. But I appreciate the call, man. I got to get you up out of here, Kentucky.
Facts and truths, man.
Yeah, you got cooked, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks. Man, what is this man talking about, man? Good gracious. He said how he look. He said Kobe was overrated because of 44%. Like, that's the only thing that you can come up with. 44%. 44%. That's the best thing people got when they be like, he wasn't efficient. He shot 44%. Like, that's the only thing people got, and they come up here and they really try to have conversations with people that actually like basketball and won't even stand for it. 44%. And he didn't look good against the Celtics in the finals. He beat the Celtics in the finals. That don't even make sense. Roland, what's up, big dog?
So Mel, yeah, I know a lot of I think a lot of Jordan fans are split on that's why I've always wanted somebody was doing a show on the weekend about the what are the false narratives about LeBron James, and they were on for 2 hours, and I called in, but they didn't have enough time. And I was gonna say, they forgot to say the biggest one is whether or not is LeBron has he surpassed Kobe Bryant, or is he better or greater than Kobe Bryant? And they never talked about that. And I think there are Michael, you and that last caller are both Michael Jordan fans. You guys both have Michael Jordan as number 1, but you guys split about where Kobe Bryant is, because there's people in the chat and there's people that are calling that'll have Kobe Bryant number 2 all time. And then we'll have Kobe. Then there are other callers that will have Kobe Bryant outside their top 10 or outside their top 5. Right. I agree. He's definitely the second greatest shooting guard of all time, easily. There's no arguing that. I got Michael Jordan number 1 of all time, basketball player number 1 all time, shooting guard. But Kobe Bryant definitely. Those numbers you put up. some people don't like numbers, but the numbers to me they show that Kobe Bryant is the second greatest shooting guard of all time. I called in because well, first, one quick thing about the mind, what's it called, mind for the game podcast or whatever.
Yeah, mind the game, baby.
Mind game. I said earlier that basketball is not neuroscience, but I think J.J. Reddick's whole point or goal is to try to make basketball look more complicated than it actually is. And so talking about LeBron James, this is what I call him. Talking about LeBron James IQ, basketball IQ. So the reason why I question it in clutch, not at all times, but only in the clutch, is because I've heard both people who criticize LeBron and people who support LeBron say that LeBron James is the best player for the first 46 minutes, but then for the last 2 minutes, you want the ball in Kyrie Irving's hands, or you might want the ball in another player's hands because they're better at shooting free throws.
Right
now, well, have you heard that about the?
I think that came out of Gilbert Arenas' mouth.
Okay. And speaking of free throws, so I've been looking for this clip, but I can't find it. I don't know. I think they ducked a lot of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's clips, but about a few years ago, he said that poor free throw shooting was indicative of a low basketball IQ. And
wow.
Yeah, he said that. He said, I don't know if he was angry, because I think he was actually criticizing Andrew Bynum, because one moment he was training him, Lakers hired him to train him, and then the next moment he wasn't training Andrew Bynum, and he said that. But I thought about it, because if you think about the players who shoot the best free throws historically, and now you have centers shooting, you have tall players shooting free throws very well, but historically, it used to always be centers that would shoot free throws at the lowest percentages, and shorter players would shoot them at the highest percentages. And some people say that centers, when it comes to basketball IQ, historically, I don't know if it's true. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but people usually say that the centers have the least skills, and they probably have the lowest IQ. What do you think about that?
As it pertains to free throw shooting, I think it's mainly because how big like 7-footers, how big their hands are. And the art of shooting with how you want your hands on the ball and how you want your fingers spread, and the little bit of gap space you want between the ball and the palm of your hand, and being able to flick the wrist. All of that stuff is better suited for someone who has the smaller hands. But when you have huge hands and your hands cover the ball up like this, right? It's almost like throwing a rock, and the release and the rotation that you want on the ball might be too much for a big 7-footer. Like when they flick their wrist, the ball is probably it's traveling faster, and it's just totally different. So I think huge hands mess up shooting for big dudes, man. So it's a physical thing. I don't think it's anything mental. It might be mental a little bit, but it's mostly physical at first, and maybe when you're such a poor shooter for so long, maybe it becomes mental, but it starts out with those hands, man. So,
Well, he said, not improving your free throw shooting is also evidence of a low IQ. And I think he was thinking, okay, logically, the one time in the game, the 48 minutes of game, if no overtime or even with overtime, the one time that you don't have somebody trying to stop you from shooting, I think he was trying to say logically you should be trying to, I don't know, he's probably saying that if you're smart, if you're intelligent, you would try to improve those moments, because those are non-contested baskets. I think that's where he was. He didn't explain it, but that's what I'm trying to figure out why he would say that, or was he just upset at Andrew Bynum? I don't know. But if he wasn't upset and he just maybe, I wish there was somewhere he explained that, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he was thinking that because nobody's guarding you, it's wide open. There's almost like he's just saying that you should be smart enough on the court to have a basketball IQ, or even IQ in general, to know like I have to improve this opportunity, because it's like free money. I think that's what he's saying. Like if somebody puts free money in front of you, and if you're not gonna improve your chances of getting it, or maybe there's like a, maybe there's something in between you, like a door or something. And if you're not even going to try to improve your chances of getting through that door to get free money, I think you were saying that it shows how low your IQ is or your basketball IQ.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I buy it a little bit, but yeah, I think it's mostly the hands, man. Because if you look at the bigger guys who actually got good shooting touch, like Rasheed Wallace was a great shooter and he was a big guy, 6'11", but he didn't have huge hands like Shaq and all that stuff, man. But then again, they say Kawhi Leonard hands are very huge as well, man. So I think it's gonna be different, depending on the guy, man. I think there's a lot to it, and it is what it is. But
yeah. All right, Mel. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
All right, no doubt.